All my life I've had a love for mechanical devices. Since I was a young boy, I would take apart old appliances, my toys. I would collect spark plugs as my dad removed them from his vehicles, while my other friends were out in the field playing baseball. This video is dedicated to all the gas pump collectors across the world who enjoy collecting original patina gas pumps. Let's watch some original gas pumps that actually run.
Here she is, National A38. Got her about a week ago. She was in rough shape. Done some work. We're trying to get her back to her previous glory. I have never done this before and been successful. There it is right there. I've wired her up, lubed her up with some WD-40. You can see I've already got the lights to turn on. We're gonna come over. Turn her on. There she is. She's a runner.
Hey Rob, it's Kyle DeConey. I want to contribute to the video with my Southwest 812. It's a super clean pump. It came from around Chicago, Illinois. A friend of mine, Tyler Patrick, picked it up for me. I was really fortunate he would just go scoop it up for me like that. The totalizer little wire assembly is pretty cool. It does that, but it unlike most pumps I find in South Carolina, stay pretty clean, and fortunately it still runs.
Today we're looking at this Wayne 100A. It was a gas pump I bought from a friend of mine who found it on a farm here locally in central Nebraska. It did have the original deluxe add glass in it, and the holes for the pump plates were there, so I went ahead and added a set of pump plates that I had and the globe that I had. So anyway, it looked like it was fairly clean inside, and I thought, well, let's wire it up and see what happens. So anyway, I have had it running, so I know it runs, but we're just going to show you here how it sounds. So my son Jake is going to do that for us. I don't have it hooked up directly to where the switch is when you lift the nozzle, but
you ready?
Yep. It actually runs really smoothly. Probably still pump gas right now. It was just a very nice, clean, original tight pump when I found it. The barrel nozzle, the barrel still rotates, and I've decided just to keep it the way it is. So just a very clean, nice running original gas pump. So, anyway, just sharing. Thank you.
So I'm Seth, and this is my 1960s Martin and Schwarz Model 80. As you can see, I have the light on. I spent close to probably 3 weeks taking all the mouse nest out of it, freeing up the computer, rewiring it, and I had to replace the meter inside because the meter was frozen. So I found out that they make reman meters, and I got one of those in there. I also have the pump freed up. It does work. It pumps diesel fuel only. I haven't put it into its final home yet. That will be soon. And I'm going to run it once I have somebody else to hold the camera. As you can see inside, here's the new meter that I found out that they still make. And here's all the internal components. I added a new pipe down below so I could suck up fuel from an oil pan. And if we scroll back up, you can see the computer behind the the face. Not the original light bulb. But all in all, it's a pretty solid pump. Don't really have a lot of rot on it. Have no plans to repaint it or refurbish it. Kind of want to keep it the way it is. Still has the lead sign on the side of it, even though it's not going to pump gasoline. That's basically about it. We're going to zero out the meter. I'm going to grab the pump handle. I'm going to switch it on. You can see it's going to suck up fuel. It should go into bypass because I'm not squeezing the trigger. As you can see, it's slowed down quite a bit. It's not stopping, so it's going into bypass. I'll come around the other side and I'll show how it pumps fuel. The gas pump Rob was actually the one that helped me get it to where it is now. He explained to me how the bypass works, how to fix it. Explained to me a little bit about the meter. Also about how to clean the pump itself out. You can see it's got a pretty good flow on here. It pumps pretty quick. Just let it go with the handle again, and it should go back into bypass. There it goes. Right into bypass it goes. Hang up the handle. And there we go. A fully functioning Martin & Schwarz Model 80 Wayne.
Hey guys, Vince DiMarzio here in Las Vegas. Gas Pump Rob had asked me if I'd contribute a little content to his latest video on working pumps. I can show you a few. Unfortunately, I don't have that many in this garage because I used to gut all of my pumps. That is, until a phone call to Gas Pump Rob one day, as a matter of fact. I called up Rob and I was telling him about this Bennett 1066 I had just picked up and how it was super original and very complete. So he said, well, you know, before gutting it, why don't you just plug it in and see what happens? So I plugged it in, I flipped the reset handle, and much to my surprise, it came right on first try. It runs super smooth and has ever since. So, not what I was expecting, right? Who would have thought a pump this old would still be operational? So I'm thinking at this point, this was just an anomaly, right? I got lucky, maybe this guy just took really good care of his pumps, but the truth is, the closer I started to look at some of the other pumps in my collection that I hadn't gutted yet, I realized that was not the exception. In fact, even with older pumps like these from the 1940s that you would typically find lying in a field, these might surprise you too for two reasons. One, they were made in the United States during a time when we built things to last. And two, the cabinets themselves were designed to protect the internal components from the elements. So since the guts weren't getting rained on all the time, when you find one of these old barn finds, one of these old survivor pumps that are complete like that, oftentimes it's the guts that were the best preserved parts on the pump. So here's what I propose. When you find something like this, guys, before you just automatically start gutting it, take a couple minutes to rewire it and see if you can't get it to start. It might be a lot easier than you think, and I can't help but think that with pumps like this that typically appeal to the more entry-level collector, seeing it run like this just adds a little more character, a little more personality to what some might consider an otherwise plain pump, you know what I mean? Now, granted, when it comes to older pumps from the 1930s, like these early Waynes, like this 60 or this 40A, they don't need any help with personality. They've got plenty of character. These things are dripping in swagger. I think a lot of you guys would agree that none of us look to them for function. We just like them for their form, right? Cool looking, classic, timeless. I mean, the Visi-Gauge, the Pricer box, the cool patina on these. But I can't help it when I find a pump like this that has the guts, I just gotta get it running. It's like, I don't know, I don't know if I'm just addicted to that sound right now, but I find it irresistible. And the truth is, who wants to gut a pump? It's a pain in the ass. It's time consuming, you break your knuckles. Should I show them one more? I'll show you this Wayne 60 real quick, guys, too. When I first brought this pump home, I immediately noticed that it was missing the motor out of it, but as luck would have it, I had an old motor from an old pump that I had gutted, so I took a couple minutes to install that motor. It happened to be the right size, the right fit, it was the right horsepower, and sure enough, it came right on and it still runs like a top. Now this is a pretty cool feeling for me, guys, and I know a lot of you car guys out there know what I'm talking about. When you resurrect an old American classic and kind of bring it back from the dead, it's a pretty rewarding experience. I don't know how else to describe it. And the thing is, I'm not as mechanically inclined as a lot of you guys out there are. So if an amateur like me can figure it out, I bet a lot of you could get these pumps to run. I actually have a 100% success rate at this point. I helped a buddy of mine get a 39 tall running. I helped another buddy get an MS-80 running. Excuse me. And the truth is, I still own gutted pumps, and I'll still buy an occasional gutted pump as long as it's got a cool patina and if it's rare and everything. But I can't help but feel like now that I know how easy they are to get running, I have a more limited appreciation for an incomplete pump. And I can't help but feel like, due to the efforts of guys like Gas Pump Rob, I kind of think I'm seeing more collectors leaning in that direction. But in closing, guys, I have to say, despite the fact that I'll never really see a need to actually dispense fuel from these pumps, and despite any inconvenience that the added weight of the guts cause, I just can't bring myself to gut a true survivor pump like this anymore. I've gutted enough of the past, and I'm keeping them OG. And that's just how I'm gonna roll from now on. And that's my time, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Hey everyone, this is Braden and Connor Spleekall here in Hays, Kansas. We're contributing to Rob's video. This is one of many runners that we have, but this is probably our nicest original survivor as far as the runners go. This pump came out of Ellenwood, Kansas, and it popped up on a local classifieds list, and we picked her up, and it's super nice, missing a little bezel on this side, but all in all, it's a great pump. And we were wiring it up to electricity, and we were like, why not? Let's see if it'll run. And sure enough, we lubed up the motor and everything and made her run. It runs pretty dang good. And all of our pumps, I mean, we're firm believers in keeping guts in all our pumps. I mean, what's a gas pump without the guts? So all of these pumps, they all got the guts. These are just a few. I mean, geez, we got pumps here at this garage. We got some at my house. Got some at the hardware store. I think we got around 50 or 55 pumps. But this is just a few. We really enjoy collecting this hobby. We love it. So it's good. Hi, Connor.
What's up?
So I hope you guys enjoy the video. This is just a little bit of our stuff. Like I said, we got much more, but we wanted to contribute to Rob's video and the No Guts, No Glory, and this is our survivor.
How's it going, guys? This is Connor Spleekall in Hays, Kansas, and I'm just here to show you another prime example that my brother and I have of original gas pump guts. This is an AX500 cash recorder, my favorite pump. And this is why I like it so much. Beautiful example of no guts, no glory. Parts that you can never replace. It's history right there, guys.
It's Braden here in Hays. Here's my all original A38. I'm gonna contribute to Rob's No Guts, No Glory video. And we got this baby running today. Connor's gonna help me out here. Sorry, the shadow's bad. But here she is running. All the guts, just the way we like it. Computer turns over real nice. And everything. So there's that pump. Hope you guys all enjoy. Here's a couple more in the garage. Got a Project 36B. Bowser, Wayne 70, Tokheim 39, Wayne 60, AX 600 Hays, Bennett 150, Tokheim 850, Simplex, Red Century Bowser, Bennett, my Showcase, Fry, G&B visible, Clear Vision visible, Hays visible, Wayne 615, Bowser 410, and Southwest 812. And there's a couple cars for you too. Thanks everyone, hope you enjoy the video.
Hello, I'm Tom Buckles. We're down here at Buckles Vintage Gas Pumps in Carthage, Indiana, and this is my pump junkyard. And wanted to take a minute today and let you look around, and then I would like to talk about a trend that has been slowly evolving here in the gas pump hobby. To let you know about Buckles Vintage Gas Pumps, I do have a website. It's gaspumps.us. I'm continually trying to stock parts on there, and but it's a good reference. Even if you don't buy anything, there's a lot of good reference material on there, and it's a work in progress. And hopefully I'll continue to add product to it. And as you can see, there's a lot of gas pumps out here. What you're looking at is pumps that I actually take parts off of and salvage. Now, I'll show you in a little bit that I do have complete pumps that I sell complete. complete that that I wouldn't part out. But most everything's sitting outside here. Actually, it's a good way to inventory the parts. Is just instead of taking them off and putting them inside on a shelf, a lot of times I just leave them on the pump because I know where they're at. And actually, believe it or not, I know where everything's at. Sometimes I can't remember what I ate for breakfast, but I can tell you where gas pump parts are at down here. Here we have more of my junkyard, and I use the word junk loosely. You got to call it something. The pickers call it rusty gold, but hey, I just call it junk. But it's good junk. Now here we have a Martin Schwarz 70, and although it is a parts pump, the base is rotted off of it, so the frame rails are bad. It still has all the guts in it, and a pump like this I will keep together. It would be salvageable to make a nice complete pump out of with some metal work, but if somebody calls me up and they want to add the pumping unit back to a Martin Schwarz 70, here you go. It's all inventory. It's right there. Here we have some more pumps, and as you can see, a lot of these are pretty much picked to the bone, but there's still good usable parts on a lot of these back here. What I have here is this group of pumps that we're looking at right now. These are not candidates for parts pumps. I just got them in the last month or two, and I've not had a chance yet to put them under the roof. Most of these pumps, what I'll do is I'll add the parts necessary to make them complete, and I do not restore anything. I just sell complete unrestored pumps. Now you'll see right here is a Wayne 60, and it still has all its pumping mechanism in it. All I need to add here to this is I'll do a little work straightening out some sheet metal. I'll put the doors on it, and needs a crank handle. But this would be a very good pump for somebody that either they want to restore it or just leave it as is. And what I have here, I have some complete pumps. Relatively speaking, I deem them pumps that even though they're missing a lot of parts, I call them buildable pumps that I can pull them out, add the necessary parts to make a pump that has a lot of character to it, and it's one that I obviously I'm not going to part it out. I keep those under roof. As you can see, they still have a lot of paint left on them, so that's why I hold those back, and eventually when I get to it, I'll put them together and offer them up for sale. Okay, well, here is where I inventory my small parts, the ones that they do come off the pumps, or I am buying pumps or parts all the time, anywhere I can find them, any quantity. And I just got back from the Dixie Gas swap meet, and I picked up 3 or 4 boxes of really good parts. And when they do, they come in here and they go on the shelf. And I have everything organized in here here is Tokine, we have Wayne, Bennett, Erie, National, and so forth. So this is a 45-foot trailer, and I got shelves on both sides, and this thing is packed. Here's a peek into another shed, and I really don't open this door for just anybody. The pumps in here are some of my ones. I like Wayne 60s, and lurking in the dark corners back there, you might find a 50 showcase, a 50A showcase, a Wayne 71 showcase, a 60 showcase, and there could be more than one back there of each model. But here again, I'm a collector, and maybe I'm a hoarder. But yeah, this is kind of the shed that I keep stuff in that I'm not really interested in selling right now. And of course, I keep my old John Deere in here too. Got to have a tractor here on the farm. Last year, I was able to purchase the pump dump from Ryan Enderthan, and this is his remaining inventory. It's still in the tubs, and I've still not had time to inventory it and put it into my inventory. But hopefully I'll get to that soon. As mentioned earlier, my website, gaspumps.us, I still own the pump dump, the domain name, and if you would do a Google search on the pump dump, it will redirect you automatically to my gaspumps.us site. We just incorporated it and moved it all under one roof, so to speak. Hey, right here is what we call the guts. Well, the guts is the pump. Actually, right here, this is a metering unit. A lot of people call the computer the meter, but you know, these are all the internals that's inside a pump. And in the old days, and this pile's been here for a number of years, I always gutted the pumps out and threw them in a pile and hauled them off to the scrapyard. Well, in the last several years, people want the pumps left inside the gas pump. And it makes perfect sense because, you know, you're taking the heart out of the pump and then it's missing parts. I don't know any better way to explain it. It's simply the fact that, you know, if you take all the guts out of it, it's not complete. I saw this trend start with clock face pumps. And when that started, people still didn't want the guts left in a common 50s pumps like a Tokine 39. But now then, any pump that I get in, if it has the guts still in it, it stays in it when I sell it. And you know, as Rob has shown you, you can actually get the pump to actually pump gas. And so it makes the attractiveness and the value of the pump to have all the guts in it. It makes it original. It makes it complete the way it was. And so anyway, believe it or not, I come over to this pile and I have customers that are trying to put a pump together, and they're actually buying these units now. You know, Wayne 60s especially, you do not want to remove the pumping unit out of a Wayne 60. And I sell a lot of parts, the meters and the pumps and the electric motors for Wayne 60s, because it was typical that they gutted them out. I've had people drive from 2 or 3 states away just looking, because it'd be very expensive to try to ship them, and you know, they'll drive over and pick up the parts they need to complete their pump. Now here's a great example of an all original Wayne 70. This pump here still has the guts in it, and I'll open it up and you can take a look. Such an original pump like this, it would just be a shame to take the pumping unit out of it. The pumping unit makes the pump. It adds character, and that's what the people want these days. It's changed a lot, and well, I will not take the guts out of them anymore. Now here's another section of pumps that I keep under roof. Now here is a Bennett 371. A lot of people will refer to this as a 541. From the outside, they look identical. But the difference between a 300 series and a 500 series is the way the door latches and the frame. The 300 series is a pipe frame pump, and the 500 series is angle iron. But there's another example of a pump that is all original on the inside. It's a pump that no way would I ever take the pumping unit. It'll be sold as a complete pump. And all these other pumps in here, the clock faces, they eventually will become available for sale, but they probably all need a little work. And quite honestly, I'm a collector myself, and sometimes I like to hold on to them just to have them. So just because they're here doesn't always mean they're for sale. Sometimes I get so full up that I have to sell some to make room for more.
Hi, this is Gas Pump Rob in Southern California. I enjoy collecting original gas pumps from the 1930s to the 1940s. I keep them as original and complete as possible, right down to the pumping mechanism, or guts as we refer to them as. It's the outer cabinet design that attracts most collectors to collecting these type gas pumps. For me, it goes even beyond that. Being mechanically minded, I like to open up the cabinets and analyze the internal industrial construction of these machines. I analyze the mounting of the motor and pump assemblies from one manufacturer to another, the pulley system used, the size of the pulley wheels, which affects the pulley ratio or speed of the pump. Running these pumps and doing demonstrations, I've noticed that some of the pumps run much faster. They pump more rapidly than other pump manufacturers. Well, that's due in fact to the pulley design used. Also, I like comparing the internal differences of the meters used for these pumps to meter the gasoline. I've had a number of them apart because they do tend to seize up if they sit too long. And it's just interesting to me to see the differences between the different manufacturers. It's like comparing a Chevrolet engine to a Honda engine. They both serve the same end purpose, but the internal mechanics of the engines are completely different. Being an automotive technician by trade, this is right up my alley. I enjoy working on these old gas pumps and actually figuring out how to repair them, getting them to pump again and function like they did when they left the factory. This just adds a little more to the interest for me of collecting these old antique gasoline pumps. Calculator needs some extra work. As you can see, I got it to reset. When I bought the pump, it did not reset. So that works fine. But as far as down below here, the meter connects to the bottom of the calculator. We're missing the drive shaft right here. So that's one problem. I need to find a drive shaft or make one. And also, this is very hard to turn, and that might be why somebody pulled the drive shaft out. So the calculator needs to be removed and taken apart and gone through, but that will have to be at a later date. Tonight I just want to demonstrate that this pump is all original, built in the 1930s, and believe it or not, last night I fired it off and it started to pump without doing any internal rebuilding. That's amazing. That's a testament to how well these gas pumps were built way back in the 1930s by Americans. Okay, let's give this a try. pump running. Jack. This is my Richfield pump I got in California. All the guts are in it. I'm going to take that hose off and crank her up and let's see what happens. That is my Richfield pump, all original. And the funny thing is, on the back of this panel, it says Paramount gasoline. So when Richfield bought Paramount, they switched it around and just painted the other side. But okay, now that's pump number one. I'll head over to pump number two. Here's pump number two. This is a 866 original Valvoline pump. I acquired this about a year ago, and it's one of my favorite pumps. So here we go again with the nozzle, and we'll crank it up. There she goes. Pump is turning, motor's on. All these pumps, all my pumps have the original white hoses on it too, which everybody's after me for. But, okay, that's pump number two. Here's pump number three. This is my original Red Crown. It's got the spinner. It's got the station lighter. The only thing is, I've not done oiling up the motor, so I'm not going to be able to start it up for you. At a later date, I will, though. Okay, we'll head over to pump number four. Pump number four, it's a Wayne 60 TW shoebox. I'll attempt to start it. Hopefully it starts. I haven't started in a while. There she goes. All original. Everything on it's original. Shoebox globe is original. White hose, signs, motors in there. Okay, we're going to go over to pump number 5. Here we go. This is a Bennett 371 shoebox globe. Again, everything original. Guts are in it. Original hose, signs, top. And here we go. Maybe not. There we go.
The bell works sometimes. There we go. Every gallon that's pumped, the bell rings. So here's the whole amount of, I'm weighing 60, man, you can see, I just collect them. But all these have the guts in them. I'm working on getting all the motors to work. On this side, all originals, all Atlantic White Flash. We have Flying A original, original Phillips 66. Over here, we have a Phillips 77 Aviation pump. I'll be getting that one working soon. This one right now is a basket case, but I'm putting it back together. This one will be working very soon. It's my Wayne 50 showcase. And that about wraps it up.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Hazelhorst from Hays, Kansas. And this is Gas Pump Garage. Come on in. I wanted to try something different today. This is one of my first pumps I bought. Came from a local station here in Hays that was in business back in the 70s and 80s. And I wanted to see if we could get her going. First thing I did was check the pump here, and the pump was free, so that was a good indication that it might pump. And then I checked the wiring. It has some exposed wires down here, and just took some heat shrink tubing, covered the exposed wires, and then wired it up. And see what I could do to get the lights going. The light switch was sticking at first. I lubricated the switch and got it going, so we got lights. Plumbed up some fittings on the suction line, and we're ready to see if it's going to pump. My favorite part, every gallon. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is a Tokine 39, dated 1952. Back when things were built to last. Thanks for watching, everybody.
A very special thank you goes out to all the collectors that contributed video clips to me to make this presentation possible. This video project was partially sponsored by Buckles Vintage Gas Pumps in Indiana, supplying us with original pumps and parts, as well as Gas Pump Heaven in Omaha, Nebraska, offering us a large array of reproduction parts so we can complete our gas pump projects. Thank you very much for your support.